He's efficient.
Zeke Najee. And he was sweet with it like Najee plays the sax, the one-hand tip-in, and then the three, Coach.
Yeah, look, Denver's developing their bigs, and the joker right now is all these guys want to shoot threes like the big fella.
Hey, he hit 4 for 7 from 3, 16 points in 13 minutes. His finish was with a career-high 21 points off the bench.
Bear down.
Of course, didn't see that one coming. You already know.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, man. It's sick.
And the joker, again, can do it offensively by sharing or dropping a three himself.
I mean, listen, he just takes what the defense gives him. He has no holes in his game,
Look at that.
especially offensively.
So I mentioned he gave you a dollar performance with 3 quarters because he played 3 quarters and gave you 27, 11, and 5. He didn't even play in the fourth quarter. The Nuggets, even Steven at 11 and 11. So this Nuggets team, we know that they've been decimated, Coach, by so many injuries. You have MJP, who's out for the season, PJ Dozier, who's out for the season, missing players due to COVID protocol. Then also, Jamal Murray, who's pretty good, who can light it up in the playoffs. But yet and still, they're still hovering right around 500, still playing competitive basketball. Just talk about their depth and the coach from the coaching perspective, that next man up mentality.
Man, it's just tough. You know, when you start losing players like that with COVID and injuries, to your point, it's hard to continue to win. But the one thing they do have, they have the joker. And think about this. You can run your offense through him because of this reason. If you put a smaller guy on him, he takes him down in the post and abuses him and then forces you to double team, and he passes the ball and get wide open shots and hits cutters. If the big doesn't come out, he knocks down threes. And if you come at him aggressive, he will show and go. And I mean, big fella will put it on the floor and then draw the defense and make passes. He is the most complete center I've seen in NBA. You can't compare him at the center position. Maybe Bill Walton, a little small version of Bill Walton, but when you watch his passing, his quickness, and that right there what separates him. His ability to take advantage of people on the post and use his body. It's not about athleticism. It's about using that body. Chandler, this is what's scary. He'll be able to play till he's 40, 42, 43. Why? He's like Sam Cassell. It's not about athleticism. His basketball IQ and his skill is off the chart.
Yeah. I talked about it now.
I'm writing that down. Most complete center that you ever seen.
That I've seen. I can't, I'm just thinking off the top of my mind. When you talk about passing, shooting, dribbling, I can't think of a center just right off the top of my mind.
Offensively.
That can do the things that he can do.
Defensively, he's not a slouch.
No.
So especially this year, it seems to have made a concerted effort. Now, I don't know if that's different schemes or Aaron Gordon, but without the injury. So he's better defensively. He's as a center, he doesn't have a hole in his game.
Well, break it down for us then. Let's
do it. Because obviously Mitchell Robinson's in a dropping ice, and we know that Aaron Gordon is the roller, and it hits an absolute dime and makes it rain. Now look, he's just jogging up the court, just gets to the right spot, nothing fast, and then takes advantage and dunks it, right? And has more dunks than what you would think. Again, slow rolling, using his body, takes his time, sets another screen. Mitchell Robinson is in his regular coverage, dropping ice. Mitchell Robinson is slow because he knows, even though he's not fast, he's quick. It can get by you. And again, here, he just curls. Mitchell Robinson thinks he's going in for a layup, takes his sweet time, and hits another 3. So how do you guard him, right? And my biggest thing with him is defensively, you want to get him in a rush. You can't. It's almost impossible to get him in a rush because he's like, well, if you're going to double team me here, I'll just move to the free throw line. Oh, then I'll move to the 3-point line, or I'll go to that side of court. We don't talk about him enough as an MVP candidate, but he should be in the MVP candidacy because this Denver Nuggets team should not be 11-11.
No.
And they are because of him, so give him his credit.
He takes advantage of every mistake that you make.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever opportunity you give him, he sees it. He don't make bad plays. He don't turn the ball over. He don't take bad shots. He is just, man, the consummate pro. And look, you said it. The reason Denver right now hanging around is because of this man right here. And if they can get Jamal Murray back and get some of these other guys healthy, they can make a late push all because of him.
And you see on and off the floor, we know that he missed time with that wrist injury. They didn't win when he wasn't there. Obviously, they've already been decimated by so many injuries, but you see by the numbers right there how much better he makes that Denver Nuggets team, to your point.
So certain guys need a high usage rate, right? But they're dribbling the ball. You can run any type of offense you want through him. You want to run dribble handoffs. You want to run post action like they used to run the triangle in Chicago.
Of a bit of a Hail Mary, but 5 seconds you can get a pretty good shot off. So you can take a 2, but you're running short on time to kind of maneuver different things. Whatever it's done, it's got to be done quick.
Harden to inbound. Nets out of timeouts. Down 4, 9 seconds to go.
Pin down action for Durant.
Harden has to get it in. Finds Mills. A 3 blocked. Aldridge kicks it back out. Mills. Nets have to move quicker than this. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's over. You got to put it up quicker than that. And the Nets fall to the Bulls again. 111-107 the final, as Chicago able to hold off Brooklyn.
So there it is, the Chicago Bulls with the victory in Brooklyn. They win 111-107. That is their 3rd straight win. Huge game from DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. 29 and 31 respectively for each one of those players, as the last possession, maybe a shot could have been taken by James Harden. Coach, your thoughts on that last possession for the Nets?
Well, it's not the last possession. They were down 4. It was the possession before that we was watching when Lonzo Ball knocked down that 3. If you watch the play, DeMar DeRozan did a great job getting inside the paint, drawing the defense. But when he kicked it out to Lonzo Ball, I've never seen a guy in a game this important that get that much time. James Harden, look, it may not have affected the shot, but Shannon and I sitting here, on a play like this, you got to run at the guy. You got to run at it. I mean, you got to do something. You got to yell. You got to run at him with your hands up. You got to clap. You got to do something because you got to try to distract the guy. And this is what the Nets are about right now. Look, they got the best record in the East, but they can't beat the good team. And there are no bad teams in the playoffs, and we keep saying that. And Brooklyn is winning. But think about it, Shannon. You said this. No one's afraid of Brooklyn. People are afraid of Golden State. People are afraid of Phoenix. No one's afraid of Brooklyn in the East.
And one thing that you pointed out, Channing, when Lonzo hits that shot, is what it's going to do for his confidence. Now, mind you, if you haven't been paying attention, we all know that there's been a lot of talk early in his career about him not being able to shoot. Clearly, he's been working on it. 3-point percentage has increased every single season. Right now, he's shooting 41% from 3. But that moment in that situation late in the game.
That is what needs to happen, right? Like time under duress, right? If you were in these situations during the course of a year, you're up 2, up 1, tie game, and you're making these threes at the end of the game. When the playoffs come, that's when the lights get bright, and that's where you have confidence. That's where you have, money in the bank that you've already put in time. So for me, him building that confidence, because whether James Harden or not went out there, the fact is, if he would have ran out there, Lonzo would have just got, made a pass to somebody else. So for me, the fact that he shot it with confidence. He didn't look left or right. He got his hands ready and shot it like he shot it. And his teammates were happy for him. So their culture, his ability to shoot when he need to be ready, and the fact they made it is really scary for the rest of the league because they did this without Caruso. And now if they start hitting these shots and you start double teaming DeRozan, which is going to have to happen. It's a little early for that now, but I would say, probably between December and that, he gonna start getting double teamed.
So we look at that situation, and just to set it up, he was 1 for 6 from 3 at that point, but still had the confidence, like you said.
That's even better.
Didn't even hesitate.
That's even better.
And to his credit, over his last 5 games, he's shooting 45% from 3.
It's even better. It's even better that DeMar DeRozan still threw him the ball. Right now, when we say, "Oh, why didn't you go out there?" Right, there's a way to close out where you're at least putting an effort, and not to take anything away from Lonzo. But they just dared him to make that shot. And so me saying, oh, Lonzo hasn't shown that he can make that shot in those type of situations is not, I'm just not coming from, just a place of hate. I'm saying he hasn't been in a playoff situation like he will be on the Chicago Bulls team. So he's going to be open. He's going to be the guy that they're going to say, let him make that shot. If we lose by that, we lose by that.
I hope not. He's shooting 41% from 3. He's one of the best 3-point shooters in the league right now. And as a coach, you got to impress upon your team, play the percentages. All right, if he's shooting 45%, like you said, in the last 5 games, okay, he's 1 for 6. In my mind, he's due. If he's still shooting and he's shooting 45%, he ain't in the game to miss.
So
and Billy Donovan's not going to have him out there 1 for 6 in that situation unless he feels pretty confident that Lonzo Ball can make that shot.
So you're saying James Harden should have contested
You got to make the effort. Look, he couldn't have got there, but you have to make the effort. You can't, Steve Nash can't go home tonight and turn that film on and watch that last play. And James Harden is standing straight up. He's not in the stands. He's not running. You got to do something. You never know. It's trying to tell you this. The percentages, when you go and contest a guy's shot, the percentages start dropping. you got to at least make the effort, man. It may not have. He may not have.
It's a culture thing that every single possession is important, and whether that's the last shot where he could have shot it, he shot harder shots than that, and passed it to somebody else who had no business shooting that ball. At the end of the game, I want 2 people on, maybe 2.5 people shooting the ball for the Brooklyn Nets. KD and James Harden and LaMarcus Aldridge, right, at that point, right? Obviously, Patty Mills shot it. No big deal. Patty did what he done. But for me, it just doesn't seem like it's important. As a teammate, I'm like, you can't give that little extra effort. Is this